Welcome to the best YouTube channel ever video. We got a peg bouncing video for another day. I'm going to share two foods that are very high in fiber. So if you are having some digestive issues, these are my two favorite. I need to show off my pecs. These are my two favorite seeds for getting that fiber in. So fiber is a carbohydrate that helps to push food down the intestines so that you can have a healthy stool and you can, sick waste essentially from your body. So the first one is cumin seeds, and I got this last year, and I use it when I make rice. I put it in my rice. You can also put it in your salads, but it is a magic food. I'm telling you, it's a magic food. In a way, it's sort of like ginger is also one of my favorite foods for digestion, and also for like if you are feeling sick, ginger will suck up all the bad stuff in you and get rid of the bad essentially. I'm convinced that there's something in the ginger that it's like magic. And cumin is another really good one. Cumin is kind of like turmeric and kind of like curry, like what they use in India. So, but this cumin, for one serving, which is a lot, it's 1 ounce, which is 28 grams, which is like this much, and it's very bitter. But if you use it mildly, like in your rice and in your salads, you typically will not taste it. Okay, so like I just made a paella this morning, and right now it's currently around 2 p.m. and I made a paella this morning at 7 a.m. because I'm a freak. And I put some cumin seeds in the rice. So if you ever had paella, is a Spaniard dish that is typically very moist and very thick with the consistency of the rice with the seafood. So I added a little bit of this to kind of even out the taste and to also bring a little bit of fiber to the meal. So for one serving, which is 1 ounce, you get 4 grams of fat, 15 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fiber, and 4 grams of protein. So you get a lot of fiber for these cumin seeds. And they are actually very high in calcium. You get about 381 milligrams of calcium per serving. You can even just throw this in maybe a smoothie, although I wouldn't recommend that because it is a little bit bitter and it tastes a little bit odd. But that is a magic food, and I would encourage you to get that. Also, cumin is contains a lot of antioxidants, which will help lower your bad cholesterol, your LDL cholesterol, and it will help raise your good cholesterol, your HDL cholesterol. It's also anti-inflammatory, so if you are feeling inflamed, usually bitter type foods will help with that sort of like inflammation in the body. Usually you'll know if you're feeling inflamed, not all the time, but for the most part you typically will. But the cumin seeds also help with insulin sensitivity and regulating glucose absorption. For somebody that experiences high blood sugar spikes and you want to think in terms of long-term metabolic health, then cumin seeds is a really great food source to kind of balance out that sugar. The next one is chia seeds. So chia seeds this is what it looks like. It's it tastes actually pretty interesting. It actually doesn't taste like anything, but the texture is nice. So if you are somebody that likes gummies and like squishy candy, chia seeds is, in a way, it transforms itself when it's combined with water. So I think it's because of something in the seeds that seems to kind of suck up the water, and it kind of expands itself, and with that it will make the food that you're eating very thick, make the food very thick and kind of moist and delicious. If you mix it with some oatmeal, it will really thicken your oatmeal. So if you are somebody that is trying to watch your calories, and you are perhaps dieting, or you're just in general watching how much calories that you're eating, then chia seeds is a really great option to add some volume to your food so that you feel like you are eating a lot when you are not eating a lot. So one of the benefits of chia seeds is also helps with insulin sensitivity. Also helps with basically insulin sensitivity is how well your cells absorb sugar from your blood. So anytime you eat, you're going to have sugar in your bloodstream, and so you want to get that sugar out of your bloodstream into your cells, and the way you do that is by eating fibrous foods, minimal processed sugars, and making sure that your cells are receptive to the insulin, if that makes sense. Making sure that your cells can take in the sugar, basically. And your body does that by releasing insulin. So anyways, so chia seeds, really good option. Cumin seeds, another really good option. For each serving of chia seeds, you get about 5 grams of fiber, and one serving is roughly about a tablespoon. So if you take a tablespoon of chia seeds, that's about a serving. For cumin seeds, 2 tablespoons is a serving. So that's a lot. Okay, it's going to taste very bitter, so I would not recommend eating 1 serving of cumin seeds because your stomach will not like it. So you may want to separate it throughout the day, throw it in some salads, perhaps a smoothie. Chia seeds, though, really great for oatmeals, yogurt, and smoothie time. Again, adds that thickness, adds that kind of consistency, adds some variety to your diet. All right, so those are my 2 favorite seeds that I wanted to quickly share with you. Magic foods that people don't really talk about. If you typically will research high fiber foods, you will find things like berries, artichokes, different types of vegetables. Some people may even list out like nuts. I typically would not consider nuts like almonds and peanuts and walnuts as a high fiber food because the fiber to fat ratio is unusual for me to consider them as a high fiber food. I would consider those as high fat foods because you get a lot more fats for your buck with nuts. Actual seeds, though, typically are lower on the fat scale, and they are typically higher on the fiber content compared to nuts. So I would really encourage you to look into different types of seeds. Pumpkin seeds is technically, it is a seed, but in my mind, I kind of consider it like a nut, like an almond, because you can kind of eat it. Whereas these, you typically are not going to just eat it. You're going to mix it in with your food. So chia seeds, flax seeds, cumin seeds. I'm sure there's other types of myriad of seeds out in the world that we still have yet to have discovered. But, sunflower seeds, another really good option. But those are my 2 ones that I've actually been really using consistently. And as well as flax seeds. It's kind of like chia seeds. Flax seeds has omega. So if you are, trying to lower your cholesterol, or you are in general wanting to get some omega in, or perhaps you're a vegetarian, then flax seeds is a really great option. I also do flaxseed oil, high in omega. I give it to my dog. Really great for her skin, for dogs in general, really great for their joints if you are an animal person. Doesn't taste the best, but it's a great superfood for your health. So those are the seeds, fiber foods. Consider getting them for digestion, for better health, and for better cognitive health as well. I probably should make a video talking about cognitive health because so cognitive health is basically a fancy way of saying like your brain. So how well your brain operates, right? So you want to stimulate your mind, kind of like how you stimulate your 30-inch biceps through, working your brain, right? So you have to work your brain out like you work out your body. And in order to grow big muscles in like physicality, and really like how it's similar to growing big muscles in the brain, is by feeding your mind, your body, the proper food. And so that's where it's really important to eat quality food.